Hello, my name is Katie Reardon and I'm a qualified nutritional therapist. I completed a 3-year nutrition course at the College of Naturopathic Medicine. I want to share with you my story of how I became ill with CFS and how I used nutrition to make a full recovery. So during university, I caught glandular fever and felt very fatigued, dizzy and weak. I had brain fog and difficulty concentrating. Also, I had a typical student diet consisting of chocolate crisps, microwave ready meals, pasta, and alcohol. I had a terrible diet. I was malnourished, and all the sugary foods that I was eating gave me spots. I went to the doctor and told him my symptoms. He gave me tetracycline antibiotics to take for the acne. He also told me to keep a food diary for a few months and then get back to him. I felt really alone and unsupported and didn't know what was happening to me. Back then, I had very low self-esteem and pushed myself to please others, doing what was expected of me without questioning what I really wanted to do. So I carried on working hard studying for my chemistry degree and working full-time on my industrial placement year at the same time, even though I could barely concentrate, and I started collapsing suddenly as I was so weak. Anyway, I took the antibiotics and they killed off the infection. However, they also wiped out my good bacteria in my gut, so the opportunistic yeast overran my gut. Then in October 2008, I had a very big trauma that I was not able to process at the time. And then 2 months later, in December 2008, I had my health collapse. I became so ill that I was unable to function in society. So my dad brought me back home and I had to live with my parents. My mum had to care for me for 6 months. So I was too weak to stand up. I walked to the kitchen to get a drink or make food. Therefore, I was confined to either my bed or sitting on the sofa in front of the TV. The doctors carried out diagnostic tests for the duration of a year, which all came back negative. Finally, a neurologist in London diagnosed me with chronic fatigue syndrome in December 2009. The only treatment they could offer me was antidepressants and said that it would take time to improve. At this point, I took charge of my own health, and with the limited energy I did have, I began researching about ME. I signed up to an ME monthly newsletter, and in one issue it mentioned that acupuncture can help. So my mum booked an appointment for me to go and see a local acupuncturist. I found that the acupuncture only provided temporary relief and was not helpful in the long term. However, the acupuncturist noticed that I had several digestive issues and recommended that I go and see a nutritionist. So this was the key to my recovery, as the nutritionist used the bioresonance machine to detect that my body was overrun with multiple viruses and candida. She also discovered that I had several food intolerances to cow's milk, yeast, sugar, and beef. So I immediately cut out the offending foods and wondered what on earth I could eat, as everything seemed to have sugar in it. I remember when I cut out processed sugar, I had the shakes for a day like I was coming off a drug. As a replacement to the sugar, I ate fruit such as dried apricots. I also suspected that I had a gluten intolerance as I had bloating and fatigue after eating wheat, so I went to the doctor and had a blood test for celiac disease, which came back positive. The next test to confirm the disease was a colonoscopy. However, I had already removed wheat from my diet, but by the time they did colonoscopy, my feeling was normal in my gut. However, I continued on the gluten-free diet as I felt a lot better on it. And this is where my passion for cooking began, as I began experimenting with wheat-free alternatives and baking my own bread with gluten-free flour. So after about 6 weeks of changing my diet and taking the recommended supplements, including oregano oil to kill the candida and echinacea and golden seal, a natural antiviral supplement. So I returned to the nutritionist and she noted a marked improvement in my health. I felt better and had so much more energy. My brain fog fog had cleared. After continuing to make positive changes to my diet, I eventually went on to make a full recovery after 3 years of being housebound. But I am now able to work and lead a normal life. If you have ME or chronic fatigue syndrome, my advice to you would be to go and see a qualified nutritionist and look into changing your diet, as I experienced such improvements in my health and energy levels over the period of a few weeks. So I currently offer nutrition consultations via Skype. The initial consultation lasts 1.5 to 2 hours. I will take your medical history and current symptoms. Then I can provide you with a personalised diet and supplement plan to improve your health and boost your energy levels. So if you're interested in learning more, please visit my website, kateo'riordan.com. Furthermore, I offer free 15-minute phone consultations. So thank you for taking the time to listen to my recovery story, and I hope it has inspired you to take charge of your health.